feels good to have spent a good amount of the day just sniping and stuff. Although definitely there's some frustrations here and there. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, that's for sure. But speaking of good things, yesterday's video ended up, I think, peaking at like number 7 or something like that on trending for gaming, and that's just ridiculous. It was always like really try hard to me whenever I've seen people like, you know, go out of their way to stay up all the way until the update and then try to upload a video as quickly as possible, ask for all sorts of different like goals as quickly as possible and all this other stuff. I've done all this stuff, you know, throughout YouTube and all that stuff, but I very rarely ever really did it all together. Modern Warfare at this point is just, it's a whole different monster. So anyway, speaking of the monsters, I ended up unlocking the Damascus RYTEC AMR, or the 50 cal. This thing is, it's pretty beautiful. So the scope is kind of like that. So it's kind of weird looking, but if you end up going and taking the variable zoom, for example, then it goes over the entire scope. It kind of reminds me of, there's the last chance variant for the AX50 and a couple other ones. This is a class setup that I was running throughout the entire day. It's the same old class setup that I think is the only way that you can run it for multiplayer anyway. So with the 448mm barrel, in order to get the movement speed and the ADS speed, you get the tac laser for more ADS speed, the aiming stability, walking, and all that stuff. You get the tac wrap for more ADS speed, and you only lose aiming stability, but that tac laser is kind of offsetting it. I would say that this thing's aiming stability is actually pretty bad. Like, the idle sway is pretty large. But it's not really that big of a deal, to be honest. I've tried a couple little things here and there. Like, for example, I ended up taking off my perk slot and ended up changing the muzzle over to something like the tank brake, for example. I felt like I could actually get my shots off a little bit faster for whatever reason. It's not that I could ADS faster, but it felt a lot more controlled. I have no idea what this thing is like in Warzone. As you guys know, I haven't messed with Warzone in a while since I've been, you know, grinding this entire thing. I still haven't gotten these challenges. I'm gonna have to do it within the next, you know, 34 days. I'm gonna have to get on Warzone and at least spend a couple days, you know, completing these contracts and whatever I gotta do. I ended up getting up at like 1:45 or something like that, got up, updated the game or whatever, recorded a whole bunch, and then uploaded the video or whatever, and I uploaded it pretty early. I'm still awake from that point, so if you're gonna point out that I'm wearing the same shirt that I was wearing yesterday, yeah, I am. It's still virtually the same day for me. I'm exhausted, but I've been playing on and off. I've been taking a couple breaks here and there because I am really tired. But now we're going for the old faithful Obsidian Barrett 50 cal here. So I'm like 45 out of 125. The progress is kind of because the lobbies are like so sweaty, and I don't know. By this point, I've seen Exclusive Ace's videos, and you know, just judging by all this other stuff, he doesn't have all the stats on the RYTEC AMR, the gun that I've been using all day, so that was kind of what I was looking forward to the most, so I had a little bit more information on it. But apparently, this thing is having some sort of issues in Warzone. Apparently, if you shoot somebody straight up in the head with the biggest barrel and everything on this thing, it will actually not one-shot people to the head. Don't know what the deal is with that whole thing. It seems like it should one-shot you to the head regardless, but who knows? Maybe they were worried that it'd be considered OP or something. I don't know. But Tessie ended up tweeting at Joe Seacon and was like, yo, is this supposed to be this way? I feel like a 50 caliber bullet should definitely, you know, kill somebody if I'm shooting them in the head, even if it is like, it just feels really terrible to go and actually shoot somebody in the head with a sniper rifle on Warzone across the map, and then it actually doesn't even down them. If you hit them in the head, they should go down. I'm sorry. That's part of the sniper rifle. Like, that's part of the enjoyment of the weapon. I don't know if you could somehow make some sort of Warzone specific tweak or like some sort of headshot multiplier tweak or something to make it possible, but you gotta do something, because that just sounds awful. I didn't realize how many people were really excited to go and use this thing in Warzone. For me, I was just looking forward to multiplayer because, you know, that's just what I'm stuck with. I gotta, you know, but don't really know if we're gonna see much of a meta shift. Apparently the Grau isn't really that much worse. It's worse. It's definitely worse than it was, but it still is definitely like a top 3 weapon. You're still gonna end up seeing this thing right next to the M4 anyway. Damage nerf to the Galil didn't seem, I was worried that it was gonna be much worse, but it actually doesn't seem that bad. A little bit weaker, yeah, maybe they toned it back a little bit, but I think if I wanted to use a weapon that's kind of like an AK, like it's got heavy rounds, instead of actually using the AK, I'll just use that. Apparently also the MP5 nerfs might not be enough either. I don't know, man. As a COD player, I mean, we've always seen the metas where, you know, something ends up being ridiculously strong. Eventually, something ends up taking its place anyway. But the gun is just so brain dead easy to use as far as its damage range and how easy it is to control and everything. Like, everybody can use that weapon. It feels good. I actually don't have that many highlights with this thing. I have not been having a good time. I was also going to mention here that in multiplayer, now that the Kar 98 kind of got buffed or whatever, That is, in my opinion, head and... The Kar 98 is head and shoulders better than any sniper rifle you can pick for multiplayer. Yes, you have to be accurate with it and everything. It's not the guaranteed one-shot machine like, you know, the HDR is or whatever. But this thing, it is so much faster than all of the other sniper rifles, even with all of these attachments on it. That thing ADS is so much faster. The amount of times that I've just been beat straight out by the Kar 98 on the draw, or even when I started scoping in before them in the kill cam, I can see myself stop, lock on as my character is scoping in, and they're able to just whoop. It's just that much faster. That thing seems like it's at the speed of the MK2. It might be a little bit slower as far as the ADS speed goes. Earlier into, you know, me playing it, just like first couple hours or whatever, I was saying that this gun kind of feels like the PTRS, but I'm gonna retract that and actually say that this thing feels like, a lot of people might not know what this feels like, but this thing, to me, feels like the Atlas sniper rifle from Advanced Warfare. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of oomph behind my bullets, even though they're consistent, even though they're powerful. It's the way that my gun reacts and feels that makes it feel like that. I don't know. It's like overly smooth. I don't know how else to explain it. Okay, so it seems like the Grau actually definitely has a bit more side-to-side bounce now, so I could just see it just from that kill cam right there. Still have to be a good sniper in a sense to, you know, be able to beat people that are sweating their asses off with the MP5s and stuff like that, you know? Close range with this Barrett feels so awkward to me. I have no idea how else to explain. In close quarters combat, the Barrett just feels very, very awkward to me. I like it sometimes, it feels amazing, then other times I absolutely hate how this thing feels. And Joe, you said, you know, you don't know if this sniper rifle is exactly what you're looking for. Honestly, this is pretty good. I'm honestly, thank you. Thank you, Joe Seacott, seriously. No sarcasm. I actually like this update. I know that a lot of people in Warzone are, you know, afraid of snipers, you know, taking over and stuff. The meta's gonna change and all this other stuff, but everybody wanted a meta shift. It'll be really nice once I have Obsidian for everything to be able to just run around with the Kar 98 and just destroy lobbies and stuff with it. It literally only took me about, I think like 3.5 hours in order to unlock this Damascus. It really, really wasn't hard because the challenges just ended up coming up really, really quickly. And sniper rifle challenges altogether really aren't that difficult. You could just play ground war, might take a really long time or whatever, you know, long shots and all that stuff. Getting the long shots for this thing, it was kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie, it was. I had sort of an idea of what it would be like trying to use this thing in Warzone, and I could see why some people are complaining. But there might be something that's kind of broken with it. It might have some sort of problem with it. So I don't know. We'll see if they end up adjusting it in any way, shape, or form. If anything is like weird or bugged with the thing damage-wise, I don't know. I don't know if that'll help it in multiplayer or whatever, but at least it's not killing me with the bolt. It just kind of feels funny. I'm killing me by not being good with the gun. If it is mathematically possible for me to go and make a shot and I'm not making the shot, I'm mad at myself. Even if it was just very, very unlikely, I wouldn't be able to have the opportunity to be able to actually land one of those kinds of shots. Not succeed every single time or whatever, but I expect that of myself, to try to push myself. These other weapons, it feels like I'm just limited by, you know, just their full-blown capability. As weapons altogether, they're just not capable of doing what I need them to do. Alright, man, I'm exhausted. I would make this video longer, man, but yeah, definitely try out this thing. I'm sorry that this video isn't very long or anything, but the grind has been pretty brutal. Right after I'm done with this, once I unlock Obsidian for this, I'm probably gonna go into shoot the ship with the last shotgun that I need. Well, actually, I need 2 shotguns, but one just base shotgun, so. Oh, it just never ends. It just never